Okay, I'll make some few remarks and then we're ready to roll.
So are we on the air?
Yeah, I think we're on.
All right.
Good morning, Valentines. We are so excited to have you here today. I'm at my Valentine at the CU Boulder campus on a blind date, and this summer we'll spend 52 years of happy Valentine-dom, and I hope you'll have that opportunity too. I'm Kathy Van Arsdale. I'm the chair of the Denver Lyric Opera Guild Competitions Committee, and this is one portion of that competition. We're happy that you're able to join us. Rather than cancel this event, our committee was determined to keep the vocal arts supported and engaged in Colorado. So we welcome you to listen to these singers today. Their first Valentine is our wonderful technical crew, headed by Bill Warren, who makes all of this live streaming possible. Thank you, Bill, Daryl, Tim. Our second Valentine is Dr. Jeremy Reger, the marvelous pianist and collaborative accompanist who will help every singer look better and place everything with verve, character, and beauty. We thank you, Dr. Robert Harrison, for joining us today, the master technician of the human voice. Dr. Harrison is formerly of the University of Colorado and Indiana University, where I first met him as our son's teacher. He is a brilliant man who can help anyone sound better. His engaging personality, brilliant tones, and lively conversation with wit will keep you entertained all morning. And now I'd like to introduce our facilitator, Dr. Robert Harrison.
Thank you, Kathy, very, very much. And just a brief order of business. I want to thank the Lyric Opera Guild. My relationship goes back probably close to 35 years when I was a faculty member at the University of Colorado. And I can proudly state that a goodly share of my former students at Colorado took away an awful lot of the organization's money throughout the 25 years or so that I was at Colorado. I was myself a member during that time. I felt that I needed, in some small financial way, to pay back the many gifts that and the benevolence of the Denver Lyric Opera Guild shared with my students and with all of the Colorado students. It's a unique organization that supports Colorado singers. During my days at Indiana University, I knew of no organization similar to this. The sole effort of this wonderfully run and excellent organization and benevolent organization is due to their efforts to support Colorado singers, and especially those singers who are interested in the operatic medium. So I thank you. I do no teaching. I like to do no teaching. I turn down teaching all of the time because I want to be able to have the time to count the leaves out under the trees that have fallen, and as I say, count the mountain peaks. I have the time to do that. But whenever this organization calls, and this is the second time, I accept their offer because I want to do whatever I can to give a payback to the immense amount of work, support that they give to the singers throughout Colorado. So, with that, I thank you, Denver Lyric Opera Guild. I would be remiss if I did not thank my colleague for today, Jeremy Reger. Jeremy was also involved prior to his appointment at the University of Colorado. He was at Indiana University and served there as a collaborative pianist And I had the real distinct honor of having him several times play in my studio. And his work is nothing short of the finest. And when Kathy asked, she invited me to be part of this day, she asked if I had a choice of pianists, and I knew that Jeremy was here. And I said, it will be Jeremy Reger or I will not come. So thank you, Jeremy. And I expect all the singers to show you the support, at least the amount of support and respect that I have for you. So with that, we've gotten some of the housework out of the way. We're here to hear some singing, and let's go after it, huh? If you want, introduce yourself and then and proceed.
Excellent.
I really look forward to it.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. My name is Kelly Riordan. I'm a mezzo-soprano, currently finishing my master's degree at University of Colorado Boulder, where I actually coach with Dr. Jeremy Reger. So
then I better be careful what I say.
And today I'll be singing for you Wie du warst from Der Rosenkavalier by Richard Strauss.
Marvelous.
Wie du warst, wie du bist, das weiß niemand, das ahnt
very lovely. Very, very lovely name. And when I say that, I mean it.
Thank you.
You have a, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 24.
24. Yeah, you have a very decent flair for, and I know it's been taught, but you've picked it up, and you have a lovely flair to sing Strauss.
Thank you.
Some things, and just as an aside,
Yeah.
this was the very, very first opera I ever heard as a young
Oh, really?
undergraduate student.
Cool.
And Christa Ludwig happened to be in the mix of the fray. So as the marshal, and Walter Berry was Baron Ochs. I don't know if they were married at that time, but nonetheless they were. It was at the Lyric Opera in Chicago.
Oh,
But it was the very first opera performance I ever heard.
Wow.
My then girlfriend, now my wife, I heard this performance. We could only afford to sit way up high, but nonetheless, we had quite a treat to hear this. A couple of things. There's no way we can get through all of this. And I'm not saying that it is so damaged by any stretch that we need to get through all this, but some suggestions.
Yeah.
The Strauss that I like
Yeah.
is that the consonants maybe are as long as the lines. They are at least in length proportion to the sung lines. And to me, you are just using the particularly final consonants. For example, the RST of Warst. I want that RST to have a proportionate length, rather than, because those are expressive sounds. We think that all we need to do and should do is deliver beautiful vowel sounds. But these texts are beautiful texts, and the choice of words create these, supply us with these incredible sounds. So I would like you to be a bit more, not even a bit more, but far more generous. I call it lyric diction.
Yeah.
And so you want to have a length of a consonantal sound that is proportionate in length to these long lines. Could we just try that once? So that also means you're going to anticipate, for me, the V.
Yeah.
V, do. And then you're going to anticipate probably the V. And look at all of them are voiced consonants, with the exception of the ST.
Right.
But still, ST you can make the S and the R. Those can all be sounded. They may not all be vocalized, but they will all create sound. And it isn't just making sound for the service of just sound, but using these sounds to show us your character. They're very expressive. You might even sometime exercise and just sing consonantal sounds. Leave out the vowels and see and develop an ear for all of these consonantal sounds. I like language that has consonants and vowels. I'm a weird voice teacher. I should, by right, only like vowels. And I was taught that. So let's just, if you don't mind, maybe a couple of these phrases, and then I'm going to suggest something else.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And if I may, I do this all the time. I start, and then I stop something.
Yeah.
I don't want you to interrupt any one of these sounds with much, if any, silence.
Okay.
V, du wirst. I mean, it's going to be longer than that.
Yeah.
Shall we try it? more.
Warst, yeah.
I can remember there was no amplification at the lyric opera.
Yeah.
Here we heard the Rosenkavalier. So, but we heard the consonants from the last row.
Yeah. Okay.
And let them be a part of the line. And while I'm at it, I don't want you, as my former students know the expression, to park on these long notes. Meaning, I want, when you get to, as you move through, for example, 6 beats of Warst, I want to hear your character at a completely different place, vowel-wise and consonant-wise, when you get to beat 6. If you are at beat 6 where you were at beat 1 of that 6 beats, you're going to bore me. I want my money back as a patron. Jeremy, if you don't mind, maybe pick up to 14.
Wie du warst, wie du bist.
No. Bist.
Yeah, okay.
You know who was great at that? Was the late Jessie Norman.
Yeah.
If she had if any of her greatness, if you wanted to find something great about Jessie Norman, there's a lot to find. But it was this element.
Yeah.
That was actually, though, quite good. But I want those longer.
Yeah.
Bis. And I know it should be a silent T. But by the time we get it in the back row of the lyric opera, it'll be that muted T.
Right.
See? But up front, you're going to knock people over with sound. That's very, very good. Do you want to go? Another interesting thing about Strauss is that probably the most important moment. Well, first let me go back. He had a wonderful way of combining speech-like singing with aria-like singing, and it so happens that you're in the aria part of it right now. But later on, we're going to come to a speechy moment, talking moment. He always puts, most generally, the most important word and the most important part of the line at the end of it. So you're doing, what I do like is that you're building and you're not parking now, and you're taking us to that big peak. For example, of Das weiß niemand. You're taking us there. And then, if that isn't enough, when you take a breath, for example, after niemand, just for example, I want that breath to be in character. Don't breathe just for the sake of breathing. We know you have to breathe. But because this character her breathing is going to be affected emotionally by what you're saying. I mean, where are you in the opera now?
In bed.
Huh?
In bed.
Yeah. And is it a pleasure?
Yes, quite.
Unspeakable. Yeah. Okay. How madly are you in love?
Oh, just head over heels.
1 to 10.
Well, he's a young boy. I'd say 9 or 10. I mean, he's...
Yeah. In terms of unconditional love, we don't. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
he's got a lot of hormones.
Right.
But he's in love. I mean,
right.
the level of love right now, and level of hormones is probably a 40.
Yeah.
Out of 10. So we want to hear that. And also, what class are you, not in college, but as this character, is he upper class, lower class, middle class?
Yeah, he's upper
Yeah,
class.
so he has some good social skills as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exhibited, I think, in the writing
Yeah.
and also in the harmonies. We see sophisticated harmonies as well too, which show us that this guy is no jerk. I mean, he's no dummy.
Yeah.
So let's go on. Oh, let's go down to around 16, rehearsal number 16. Maybe, Jeremy, that introduction into Engel 9.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
No, Engel 9.
Yes. Okay.
That breath. Don't go, don't fall for the breath.
Yeah. Okay.
If anything, stand up, tall. Engel. And I wouldn't mind. Part of this is, though the NG isn't technically a double-like consonant, you treat the consonants as though, from my Strauss anyway, as though they're all double, if not triple. And the more vocalized and sustainable they are, make them longer. Make them longer. Look at it this way. You're getting paid for using the vocal folds less.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I always wanted to be the old third soldier that doesn't sing and get paid. You know, hey, this is a good game. Could we try it once again? No, you're parking. You're parking on me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You're parking
I
on
see
me.
it.
Don't park.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in the same place you were in the beginning, step aside.
Okay.
Let the A-team in. And then, for me, when we get into the spoken stuff, I would like to have more word rhythms rather than, rather than das ich der. I know there are three, it's a set of triplets, but there is no one note within a set of triplets that is equal to any of the two others.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, das ich der ein?
Right. Yeah.
Could we just try
Yeah.
once more, and then we'll have to call it. 20 minutes is not long. Yes, yes. That gets me off my chair.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I like that. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, and that it is Strauss's way to do it. I never met Strauss. There isn't anybody in this room who met him. Mm-hmm. He died the year I was born. But nobody has in this room knows Strauss better than Strauss. And Strauss we haven't met up with him. All we have is his music. And assuming that this is an accurate score, meaning it has all of the markings in it that are in the score, his markings, this is all we have. Mm-hmm. So we have to go in and find these things, and they're easy to find. That is really quite lovely.
Thanks.
Now, if you apply that to the whole thing, I think you have it.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you
Really appreciate
very much.
it. Yeah.
And I, on behalf of Strauss, thank you. I think, no.
Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate it.
And also your whole demeanor now is is quite exciting. You're really, now we're hearing the character.
Yeah, cool. That's great.
And also he's young, so he's out of control. And you're becoming out of control. In a good way.
Yeah, great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, Judy. Okay. Oh no, that is. Yeah, the next contestant is going to sing Judy. Read. My wife and family I think are watching. They're probably having a fit that I don't have my mask on, but I just feel we're at a good distance. I wish you didn't have to have yours on, but I don't know if I
Sign
can
of the times,
work
it's fine.
all that well with it on.
No worries.
Okay, give us your name.
Alrighty, my name is Lauren Bumgarner. I am a soprano. I'm 24 years old. I'm currently taking a hiatus from my master's studies, looking to return to the fall at Colorado State University. And the first piece I'm going to be singing for you, or possibly the only piece, is Je dis que rien ne m'épouvante from Bizet's Carmen.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Il est ici, je le verrai. Il de voix que n'a pas sa mère. Sans troubler, je l'accomplirai. Je dis que rien ne m'épouvante, je dis hélas que je réponds de moi, mais j'ai beau faire la vaillante au fond du cœur, je meurs d'effroi. Seul en ce lieu sauvage
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Both of you. Very, very lovely.
Thank you.
Again, beautiful singing. What French music I've discovered over the years is very heavily marked with directions.
Yes.
And there may be one composer, I would arguably say, arguably say, who overmarks more than Bizet, Berlioz, and the 19th century French composers, and that might be Arnold Schoenberg. You know, every beat, it seems like there's a black mark above every beat in Schoenberg.
Yeah.
That's good. Because a composer then is giving us explicit directions, as explicit as one probably can give without him being here. So, to make this presentation even more interesting, I think you need to go over the top a bit more.
Okay.
In fact, go over the top.
Okay.
As I tell my students and did tell my students, if you don't overdo it, you'll never find how far to go to do it. So don't be afraid when trying these things out and developing a performance to take it over the top.
Okay.
So let's just work. I mean, it's just so much. Let's just, for the time being, because we can't get through all of this.
Yeah.
Could we do page 118, if we have the same page numbers, Jeremy, and maybe leading up to pick up to the second bar, protégez-moi. You know where we are? B flat to D.
Protégez-moi. Okay, yeah.
In fact, maybe let's go back to 117 and the top system there. Sur le en ce lieu. Dee, 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 dee.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is, again, there's anybody in the room who's met Bizet, so at least, even as old as I am, I never met him. But in looking at the music, you will find in Bizet, a lot of the Berlioz as well, where, Debussy, where they will tie, for example, the word sauvage. In this case, Bizet has tied the second syllable of sauvage to the final syllable. There are times when he and other French 19th century composers will do it another way. They will not connect the final syllable, indicating to me, possibly, when they don't connect it, tie it, that it then can become a trisyllabic word, sauvage.
Okay.
Because he's tied it, and tied these final syllables many times to the previous, I'm not so certain that you could not do this sauvage, tutte, rather than sauvage, tutte.
Okay. That makes sense. Perfect.
I'm not saying that that's correct. You could probably you might even get eliminated from a competition because a judge wants it the other way. But I'm just going from the score.
Okay.
I'm kind of what's in the score? You know?
Okay.
So could we try from sur le, on se, your,
Yeah.
if you want a little running start, that's up to you guys. But do you know what the dynamic mark is there?
Piano?
Sure? Are you sure? Because you have to know. It's un poco meno piano.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a little.
Okay.
A little. But that means what is going to be loud will be the consonants. You cannot give up the consonants because you're going to sing a soft vowel.
Okay.
So you can anticipate that S.
Okay.
So it's a quadruple S in a 4,000 seat auditorium. Yes, and then keep vibrating on all of those syllables, no matter how short those 8 notes are.
Okay.
Okay. See, don't go to straight tone. It's not indicating straight tone. Not in this score. Yes, and then where are we dynamically on the vous me donnerez? What's the dynamic level there? I have the advantage.
Forte?
Is it? Is it? It's yes or no question.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And you know, and a forte isn't just a forte.
Yeah.
The character indicates how much forte that is.
Okay.
The amount of orchestration at this point indicates how much forte.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you? I mean, as the character, are you kind of out of control at this point?
I would say that I'm more. I've reached the point of determination to just really.
Okay, and so it's a big resolve. It's a huge load off of you. Let's have it.
Okay.
You're pampering yourself. Do you want to win this competition? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. I think it used to be around $4,000 payout. That ain't bad cash. There was no $4,000 award for any singer at Indiana University. No way. So that's a lot of money. And it's a lot of lessons. So keep, and then also you've got over je peux, mais j'ai tout à fois peur. You've got crescendo molto, which takes us to a forte. And then on the donne re, you have a crescendo mark. And then you come all the way down to the bottom of the page to protegere. You have diminuendo piano, poco ritardando. That's a lot. That's a lot. For $18,000 to sing this role. Would you do all those things?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, let's do them now.
Alrighty.
Show the judges next week or 2 weeks from now that I'm doing all these things, not just for the sake of doing them, but this is a character. Put it in the character. Could we have that once again from the Sir?
Okay.
I can't sit down. Softer yet.
Okay.
But yet it has great intensity. So give us your most focused soft sound. Crescendo molto. Come on. Very good. That's exciting. And it gets the listener off her seat. Its seat. See? Yeah, that's what you want to do. Now don't be afraid to do even more of that.
Okay.
Then prote. There is portamento expected in this, even in French music, I believe. And when it's marked, it's even more. So what you don't want to do is protegere. Boring. Oh, Seigneur. Oh, Seigneur. And that has a diminuendo. Oh, Seigneur. And if you're a little bit off the beat, and behind, that's okay. This isn't the Air Force. How about leading up to the protege?
Okay.
Protégez-moi. No, connect. Protégez-moi.
Okay.
And when you land, what's the most stressed word of the protégez-moi?
Protégez-moi.
Which is the most stressed, should receive the most stress. It's given to you.
Moi.
Yeah! What's moi?
Me.
Thank you. Yeah. Protégez-moi. Oh. So the O is maybe close to 40.
Okay.
And then, oh, Seigneur. Go far, my friend. No, are you running out of air?
Yeah, because I was pushing it all out.
Yeah, so go down.
Okay.
What I'm telling you to do is put a little bit more pressure. Let that diaphragm go down a little lower.
Mm-hmm.
And what will occur physiologically, the vocal folds will approximate with a bit more tightness.
Okay.
Tighter clothes.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. That will help you. Also, make sure, and you're breathing before donnez-moi, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So make sure that chest is high, shoulders are comfortably back, and breathe low. Your breath isn't going all the way down into the lower part of your body. I'm not saying that. But what you can feel is the result of the diaphragm descending and pushing. The more air you want to get in, it will push a little bit more on the organs beneath it. And you're going to feel expansion around the mid area. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So give yourself ample time to do that.
Okay.
And don't let anybody ever take your breath away from you.
Alrighty.
Could we just have once more protégez-moi?
Yes.
And I want you now, make sure before donner that you take a good breath. High, back, low. If you don't do that, don't sing it.
Okay. Sorry.
My friend.
Yeah.
No, you're hanging too long on that quarter.
Yeah.
Of Seigneur. Don't do that.
Okay.
I want you to breathe. I'm giving you the time. So is Bizet.
Okay.
Let's breathe. There's just one other thing. I can't go any further, but you are slowing him down.
Yeah.
On donnez-moi du courage. That's your fault.
Yes.
If anything, what might align naturally with a long crescendo is a slight amount or some accelerando.
Okay.
As a rule.
Alrighty.
As my rule. And also, you're young, so don't be afraid to move this along,
Okay.
you see. Rather than slow to the high note, drive to it.
Okay.
We have to leave it there. I wish
No worries, yeah.
we could spend more time, but it's beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lord, aren't there any men? I hope it's not becoming more and more just a female art, but...
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Hello, my name is Gabrielle Razafinjatovo. I'm a student at CU Boulder. I'm 26, and today I'm singing Cruda, sorte from Rossini's L'Italiana in Algeri.
Thank you. One other, which I failed to tell you, especially while we're masking, I would suggest that you pull your hair back so that we can see as much of your face as possible. I meant to say that to you. I think it would be advantageous because the eyes are immensely expressive and can be in a human And we want, especially if you're going to sing with the mass, we definitely want to be able to see all of your eyes. Ditto.
Great.
I'm sorry.
No, no problem.
Okay, so it's going to be Cruda sorte.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Good.
Cruda sorte, amor tiranno, questo il premio di mia fede. Non verror, terror, mi affano, aria quel ch'io provo in me. Per te solo, o mio indoro, io mi trovo in tal periodo, da chi spero, a Dio consiglio, a Dio consiglio, che conforto mi darà. Da chi spero, o Dio consiglio, che conforto mi darà. Da chi spero, o Dio consiglio, che conforto volti in futuro, non più smanie né paura, di coraggio e tempo so, or chi sono si vedrà, or chi sono si vedrà. Già sotto pratica qual sia l'effetto d'un sguardo languido, d'un sospiretto. Sarò mai lumini, come si fa? Sì, 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 sì. Sarò mai lumini, come si fa? Sì, sarò mai lumini, come si fa? Se dolci o ruvidi, se fiamme o fuoco, son tutte simili a preso poco. Se fiamme o fuoco, son tutte simili a preso poco. Tutti la chierono, tutti la bramano, tutti la chierono, tutti la bramano. Da voga femmina, felicità, sì, 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 sì. Da voga femmina, felicità, sì, da voga femmina, felicità. Tutti la bramano, tutti la chierono, da voga femmina, felicità. Tutti la bramano, tutti la chierono, da voga femmina, felicità, felicità, felicità. Da voga femmina, felicità. Da voga femmina, felicità, felicità.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Let's just take this ending shortly.
Sure.
Not that we're here, because we're here.
Yeah.
Ci felicita. Make sure that you don't hold that longer than you have air.
Okay.
Again, you have a tendency, everybody has a tendency in singing. I saw this in 40 years of teaching. The high note has to be preceded with a great big ritardando. And then what it costs the singer is they don't have enough air to sing the final note. The penultimate note is great, but the final note isn't.
Sure, that makes
It
sense.
is a point of resolution.
Yeah.
So, Tita, if you get there before he does, big fat deal. I'm not saying to sell short here, but I wanted to end with all of this bravura rather than we begin to slow everything down to introduce the high note.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Could we just go, if you don't mind, let's see. Da vaga femina felicita, about one, the second system, Jeremy, do you know where we are?
I think
Da vaga femina.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get off of that ta sooner,
Okay.
by the way.
Sure.
If you're going to breathe, then cut the note prior to the breath. Get off of it.
Okay.
So you have plenty of time to breathe. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Also, as I told your colleague, high, wide, expansive, low for the breath. Even if it's a short breath. Keep yourself high, expansive. That'll mean your shoulders are probably comfortably back a little bit.
Okay. All right.
One of my colleagues said, I can say this in the midst of all of us here. I would never say this to you in a studio with you and me there, but one of my colleagues that I used to say, put them up on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, get them up on the... Margaret Harshaw used to call them Millie and Tilly,
Oh.
the late Margaret Harshaw.
Yeah.
Okay, so Millie and Tilly are really high up.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, that becomes exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
It feels exciting.
well, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
But you want us to be able to pay you, so you've got to excite us. Very good. Oh, I had some things there. Overall, I think this piece, for me anyway, the words aren't, and I say this arguably, these aren't some of the greatest texts.
That's fair.
And but what we do have is some of the greatest music.
Mm-hmm.
So it is bel canto, and so it isn't so much just a beautiful sound, but it's how you use your sound to convey the character, to communicate the character. So it's somewhat programmatic music, to the extent that the music takes a front seat, if you will, to the text. It comes out of the text, but the music itself is the vehicle in bel canto, in my view of bel canto. That's the vehicle for communication.
Okay.
And in this case, the text takes a bit of a second fiddle position to the music. Overall, I think this thing needs more legato then.
Okay.
for example, let's see here. In fact, it's so difficult because there's so much. Let's maybe, should we start on my page, Jeremy, 60, and maybe at the allegro marking?
What, sorry, where?
Do you know where, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, great, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, and here's the case in point. I'm not getting those, the 16th notes clearly enough.
Okay,
You're giving me the dotted eighths, but I need to have clarity of those 16ths.
okay,
Dee-da-da-da-da-da, dee-da-da-da-da-da-da. One way in which you can maybe fix that is phrase from the short note to the long note,
okay.
rather than the long note, which you're doing,
Yeah.
from the long note to the short. Da, da, da. You're phrasing that way, and what happens is then we lose the clarity of the short notes. So I want you to phrase da 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 da. Feel as though the down is on the short.
Okay.
Am I making myself clear?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Once,
Let me try that.
yeah. Yeah, but now remember those are eighths.
Okay.
The dee da 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 da. I mean, I suppose you could, if you wanted to dot them a little bit, you could. I know there's a school of thought that allows that,
Okay.
and probably it's based upon tradition.
Sure.
But on the other hand, you might meet up with some fool like me who wants as it's written.
Yeah. Oh, I like that too. I got
And
carried
what
away.
Rossini might be doing here too is by if we can take and find, assuming we have some truth here of intention of the composer. What was I going to say? It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Yep, for sure.
It's part of old age. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. By him indicating the dotted rhythms, might indicate that he wants possibly a doubly dotted rhythm at that point. I don't know. And then but some dotted rhythm on the subsequent one, because rhythmically it's a motive, and there's probably some semblance of good thinking that they can be dotted.
Okay.
See, but I don't know what the answer is. No one does, unless we can put a breathing to it down the composer's throat. So once again, let's try it.
Sure.
But those were much better.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, another thing you might do, and I know I'm spending probably too much time on what might be insignificant to others. You might let the orchestra silence before you make your entrance, rather than you interrupt. I wouldn't mind that.
Just on the first phrase, qua ci vuole, or for
Yeah.
each of those
Dum,
little?
dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, dee, da, 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 dee.
Okay, yeah.
Because to some degree, this is spoken.
Right.
Again, you could find some who will like it that way, some that don't. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just saying it makes sense clarity-wise. See, and also but not too much time.
Okay,
It's not a fermata.
right.
Too much.
Too much time?
Too much.
Okay.
Yeah, he's giving you the he's got it short enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dee, da, 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 da.
Okay.
Just as the point you hear the piano not completely die away, but enough of the tone has diminished, the amplitude, that you can then make your entry.
Sure. Okay, can I try it again?
Yeah. Not des so.
Oh,
No, it's des so.
desso.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's another thing that you're doing through here, and that brings up a point. You are sustaining the short syllables
Okay.
many times, and you can't do that.
Right.
Be very mindful of that.
Okay.
We stress by length.
Yeah.
As a result, the longer a sound, probably it's louder. We many times think that we have to hammer blow something to create a stress. No, stress means the syllable that stress syllable is longer than any of the others.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
So long and short. Desso.
Desso.
That's right, get off of it.
Okay.
I want to try it now. Just to move on, let's go to the third system, Jeremy, of 61. Sure. And yeah. Now here is legato. We won't hear you if this is not legato.
Sure.
We just are not going to hear you.
Okay.
Here's something. I'll give you a little trick here.
Yes.
In this section, if you want legato, and assuming that legato is a result of constancy of sound, whether it be vowel sounds or consonantal sounds, what I would do is, and I taught this, I would slightly alter these stopped consonants.
Okay.
For example, the P, which is really muted.
Right.
I would cheat a little bit, and make it a B.
Okay. Okay.
Dame Sutherland got by with it.
Ah, well then.
And then I'm talking really, just a slight amount of vocalization.
Okay.
Same thing on so all of the unvoiced consonants, this will take practice. We may not get success with it doing it right now.
Yeah.
But all of these consonants, think of trying making them just a little bit of voice to it.
Okay.
Margaret Harshaw used to do this as well, I'm told, at Indiana. She would tell the students as well, the same thing. Switch them over. That's what Sutherland did, actually, when you go back and you listen to her. Not that you should be Sutherland.
Right.
You are you.
Yes.
Joan Sutherland's dead. So you can't be her anymore.
Yes.
And we want you. So all of these, think of them voiced.
Okay.
Just little bit of voicing on them.
Okay.
Can we try?
Yeah. For sure, let's try it. Già super pratica.
You're going già su, pa, 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 pa. Già su, la.
Okay.
Già su per bra, già su per bra, bra. I'm going to sing it.
Yeah.
It goes by ever so quickly, and the distance between you and your audience, the audience is going to hear it.
Sure.
And again, we don't have arguably the greatest text in the world here.
Right.
It's not a great text.
Yeah.
So, but and also we then hear the voice, and you then have you're giving voice, which then is the language.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to communicate through sound, vocalized sound to the degree you can.
Okay.
Can we try it once
Yes.
more? So very connected. Another exercise you might do is lip trills. I had students do that constantly. In fact, that was always one of their long assigned exercises when they would come in and warm up.
Yeah.
Lip trills.
That's great.
So that you're working constantly and building legato.
Yeah. I love that idea. That's great.
Almost get in there and dig deeper to get that continuous sound.
Okay.
It's better, but it's not no cigar yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just super. You're going just so, and you've got a disconnect between just so and the per.
Okay.
You're giving me just super.
Okay.
So it's staccato.
Ah,
You're not going to be heard.
okay.
Look, I don't know how much time you are singing the length of any one of those notes in terms of time, real
Sure.
time. But they're too short.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Ooh, okay.
Just a little. Just a
Yeah.
little. Why? So that you have sound.
Yeah.
Da, 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 dee, 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 dee. Let's go on.
Okay.
There's a phrase marking.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you know there's a phrase marking?
I don't think I did. Is there also a little rest?
Huh? You said what?
A rest?
Hell no.
Okay.
I don't see.
Okay.
There aren't many rests at all on that line.
Okay.
No.
Great.
No. Sing when required.
Yeah. Okay.
Do that once. You sing that whole thing that way, and that's going to be quite nice.
Thank you.
For my
Yeah.
book, in my book.
Yeah. I like it.
That's very, very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
sorry again we have to go on. That's,
Oh, no. Time is time. Thank you so much.
well, it shouldn't be.
Thank you. Thank you for
You're
your time,
welcome.
Dr.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank
Oh my gosh, another local. Oh, you're picky.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing extremely well.
Excellent. So my name is David Silvano. and I am finishing up my bachelor's degree at Colorado Mesa University. And today I will be singing Lenski's aria from Tchaikovsky's Yevgeny Onegin.
I thought maybe you were going to do Va. Okay.
Сердечный друг, желанный друг, приди, приди. Желанный друг, приди, твой супруг, приди, твой супруг, приди, же до тебя желанный друг. Приди, приди, я твой супруг. Куда, куда, куда ты удалилась, золотые дни моей весны.
Very, very nice. And you have a beautiful color, I think, for Russian music.
Thank you.
I must offer some kind of an apology because I was a child during the Cold War.
Sure.
And that was the time in American culture when Russians were very much hated and feared.
Yes.
And in terms of music, I as a student, I mean, we had no idea there was music in Russia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We could have assumed that, but
Sure.
it wasn't available.
Yes.
And it was not taught. In fact, if anything, it was somewhat forbidden. But there was no way, probably until maybe the 80s, when the availability of Russian scores were availed to us in the United States.
Wow.
And with great relief and wonder, we found these pieces.
Yes.
So it's a language I don't have really much authority about.
Sure.
That is probably due to some degree to my laziness. I should have, but again, my excuse was I didn't have the time.
Sure, yeah.
But nonetheless, I think I have a pretty good grasp on the music.
Yes.
And certainly feel comfortable working with it. One of the things it definitely needs, it needs much more legato for my taste.
Sure.
These are broad, expansive lines, continuous sound going on. It's what I call, in terms of string music, full bowl.
Yes,
Full
absolutely.
bowl music.
Sure.
And you're singing with, to my thinking, with far too much staccato.
Sure. Okay.
Let's just, for the sake of time, also, you should develop a stronger familiarity and knowledge of these markings,
Yes.
because you're omitting and or changing a lot of these markings.
Sure.
Now, if you tell me, I looked at a definitive score,
Right.
and that's not what the composer, what's here is not what the composer intended.
Sure.
I'll buy into that.
Right.
I'll trust you with that. But if you're working from this score, and this is all we have right now
Yes.
in front of us, for example, on the last page of 143, and we might even start there, or let's go on 142, Jeremy, and the pickup to the third system, if we have that little run up to it. That's right. For example, it's marked stringendo, and then poco a poco crescendo, you did the complete opposite.
Sure. Sure.
Why? Do you have a reason for that? I mean, if you do, tell me.
Sure.
I'll buy it.
I guess not. It was more instinctual, I think, than anything else.
I
But
don't want that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want what's on the score.
sure.
What's on the score, we serve.
Right.
And assuming what's on the score is truth, that the score that we're using
Sure.
is truth, we have to honor it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And also, the music probably, in most cases, is going to be far more pleasurable to hear
Sure.
as a listener when we have the composer's markings coming through and giving those markings purpose. It isn't just a stringendo or a poco crescendo for the sake of a poco crescendo.
Sure.
No, that's in there for textual and musical reasons.
Absolutely.
So let's see if we can, and don't be afraid to go over the top more with this. I think you are. Do you feel it's a heavy piece to sing? Yes or no?
Fairly, yes.
Fairly. How do you feel after you've sung it?
I feel pretty good. Actually.
Ready to sing another aria?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Could you sing O Mio Tesoro?
Right after it,
Yeah.
I might be able to.
If-
Not 100% confident.
Let's say if you were to add if you had that piece on your list, you'd have to know that.
Yes.
Because a judge will probably say if you started with it.
Sure.
Just say, and you had a Mozart aria, slow Mozart aria on
Sure.
your list, which I don't think would be too stupid to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They would ask for it.
Sure.
So you need to know for a competition that I can sing any one of those pieces on my list after a given piece.
Sure,
First piece.
absolutely.
Okay. So, yes, if you don't mind.
Sertechni trug,
Why are you in such a hurry? There's a fermata there in the orchestra.
Sure.
Can we find a purpose for it? I don't want you to stand there idly.
Yes.
You see. And it builds.
Sure.
What's in his mind, do you think? What is he thinking at the first statement?
He's thinking of death, essentially. I think that he's thinking of his sort of inevitable death that is coming to
And so,
shortly.
why the my beloved, for example?
Sure.
Does he want to tell her?
Yes, I think so. I think definitely.
Is he somewhat hesitant to tell her? I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I want to know what you think.
Absolutely.
Does he want to break it gently? Maybe.
Sure.
I'm not saying that what I'm asking and that might seem to suggest to you is what you want it to say.
Sure.
I want you to define that.
Absolutely.
And while we're at it, I'm not going to ask you if you learned this by listening to someone's recorded performance.
Okay.
But I hope you haven't listened to any performances and you developed your own. Because I want, when I go to a performance, and I think you as well, you want to hear that individual who's singing this role put his stamp on it.
Absolutely.
So be a little guarded about, oh, I've got to make a performance by such and such tenor.
Sure.
You see. No, they're dead, most of them anyway. And you don't even have their DNA.
Right.
You have your own take. And I wouldn't mind hearing it.
Sure.
See?
Yes.
What do you want to say? Because that can can make this piece a brand new piece for me as a listener.
Sure.
Rather than, okay, someone's doing it like somebody else, and it isn't that good.
Definitely.
Okay, let's try it once again. So use that fermata.
Sertechni trug,
Now, why is it? Do you want it staccato? So staccato?
Probably not for that line, actually.
No.
Yeah.
How much are you in love?
Right.
How much are you in love?
Very much so.
Very much.
Yes.
This is the one.
Yes.
Yeah. and you know you're going to die.
Right.
Not a great day, is it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So, and those pitches are so short, I don't even hear definition. I couldn't even I can take pretty good oral dictation. Though when I went into undergraduate school, I didn't read music very well. If I could say, probably not at all. But if I had to take dictation in a dictation course, I don't know what the hell those pitches would be.
Sure. Okay.
Music has pitch and rhythm.
Yes.
Designated pitch and rhythm.
Yes, absolutely.
May I have some of it?
Yes.
Thank you. Use the sounds.
Sirtechni druk, shelhani druk.
Yeah, but still, they're still too short for me.
Okay.
If you want the staccato, sub-staccato, then make the notes longer.
Sure.
And also, what I don't like, and you're not the first to do this, is that you're making those 3/8 notes the same.
Sure.
And you know what? By position alone, in a bar of music, they're not the same.
Right.
The first one's even in a different bar of music, and it's on the upbeat of the last beat.
Sure.
That has its own identity. The second eighth note is on the beat of a new bar. That generally is stressed.
Stress. Right.
Is the Russian syllable stressed beneath it?
Yes.
Oh, so a composer underlaid the text really
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So why make them the same? They're not.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yes.
Music's more interesting than that. So the old rule in MA 113, my studio at Indiana was there are no two same notes equal in length. Never, never, never. One's long, one's short. And that's dictated by the text beneath it. It's very good. Let's try it once again.
Yes.
Let the orchestra die a little bit.
Sirtechni
Staccato! Bop, bop. That's as long as the note is.
Right.
Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
Now what? Use your mind.
Sirtechni druk,
Oh, yeah.
shelhani druk.
Yeah, but that's right. That's really quite good. I mean, just 3 notes and you excite me.
Yes.
I'm not easily excited.
Yes.
I'm not easily impressed. Now, we have a poco crescendo. So, yes, you have unstressed syllable. No, those quarters have to have a crescendo.
Yes.
And you know what? Your breath has to crescendo too, or your breath has to crescendo too,
Yes.
because now you're becoming more impassioned. How do we know that? The rhythms, the rising of pitch.
Yes.
It's all dictated by text.
Definitely.
Once more.
Sirtechni druk, shelhani druk. Pretty, pretty.
Wait a minute. Is that a clear B natural he's singing? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a B natural to me.
Okay.
Sorry, and
No,
it's my
that's-
fault.
No, it is. That's absolutely right.
Sirtechni.
No, that's staccato.
Yes.
I'm not going to let it be.
druk, желаний друг.
Is that a? It is. It sounds low to me. Yeah, that's very good.
Yes.
Once again, let's do it, and then we'll go on. Because I want the crescendo, poco a poco crescendo. Legato.
Siltешний друг, желаний друг, приди, приди.
Come on!
Желаний друг, приди, твой супруг, приди, твой супруг, приди, приди.
Yes, but you see, we don't yet, if looking at the score, we're not to the piano yet.
Sure.
There isn't even a decrescendo
Right,
marking
right.
until the ad libitum.
Sure. Okay.
And I think it will be actually more exciting if you follow those directions.
Definitely.
Could we try it once more?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
That was very, very, very good. That's starting to impress.
Thank you.
Siltешний друг,
Watch me.
желаний друг,
Come on,
приди,
crescendo,
приди.
crescendo. Fortissimo.
Желаний друг, приди, твой супруг.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Приди, твой супруг.
Keep it up.
Приди,
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Я жду тебя, желаний друг.
Piano. Legato.
Приди,
Crescendo, little baby, to finish it off.
твой супруг.
Yeah, okay. You
Yes.
see, that, I'll pay for that.
It feels much better too, so definitely.
Well,
Absolutely.
let it out of you.
Yes.
Go to a dangerous place
Yeah.
in music. Go to the most dangerous of places. And it was the late Barbara Cook whose quote is along this line, because she said, when you go to the most dangerous of places, where you will probably fear the most as a performer, you will find the freedom.
That's great.
See?
Yes.
So get rid of the safety net. Take chances, take risk.
Yes.
And this is for everybody, I'm not just speaking to you. Yeah, because that's what we want. I even scripted the quote. Since I've retired, I have actually become a certified scripter.
Okay.
I have a certificate. And so I scripted it, pen and ink, the whole quote, because I found it so important. In life, don't be afraid to take risk. Test. Jump into the deepest of water. You know?
Absolutely.
I remember going at Waterworld years ago when our youngest daughter, I think, wanted to go to Waterworld, and I don't like roller coasters, and yet I've never gone down one until that day she wanted to go down what was called Screamy Mimi. And that was a great big risk for me.
Sure.
But yet when we splashed met up with the water, it was one of the greatest feelings of my life. A roller coaster, which I had feared. You see, afraid to take the risk. But that, overall, that is exciting singing to me, my friend. You put that into this whole aria, and I think it's going to be something.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Again, you mean a lot. So are we not going to have Va? No Va?
No, Va was the second aria.
Oh, that was the second aria. I'm sorry. Oh, do we have a break now? Oh, okay. I better put my mask on. Are we still on the air, or? Are we on the, we're black right now. We're black, okay. How's the sound? Is it okay? It's better now? Is it okay now? Oh, okay. Sorry. I appreciate both your work. No, I do. Because this is work that is so often overlooked. And it's you people who make us